What's going on, everybody? Today I want to update my script writing GPT because I've I've cracked the code on hooks, I think. And here's why I know this. The analytics in my Instagram are saying I'm getting 6 seconds to about 10 seconds of engagement. And I'm really thankful for that because this means that something is I'm the subject matter and the way I'm grabbing attention is resonating with someone, but not enough people to have it stick. And the question is, what is it that makes it stick after the 3 seconds? People say the hook is the most important part, and I think that's true. And even hooks throughout your video is going to help. But what is it that people really, really engage with that they don't know they're engaging with? And that's what I asked ChatGPT today. So I'm going to show you the conversation I had with ChatGPT. I'm going to show you the back end of my GPT. If you haven't seen the first episode, you can check out how I built that earlier. And the idea is that we're going to optimize the computer, the script, right? The script writer that I have we're going to optimize this script writer to make sure that it's tapping all of the points that people need while offering the value. Because if I have a message that I really care about, and I know that you do too, because that's probably why you're watching this, then you want to be able to keep people engaged for 50 seconds when you have a 50-second video. All right, so let's dig in and let's see over time if this is actually going to work, because I'm really psyched about this technique here. So here's a script that I made earlier with my Bluesprint script writer. So this script I made with my Bluesprint script writer, and I'm going to see if you can notice the differences that we're going to input. This conversation is just with my script writer, but the conversation I really want you to see is this one. Oh wait, no. Let's get it. Hold on. But the real conversation I want you to see is this one, because I had an epiphany. Oh, that's not it. So this is the conversation I had with ChatGPT a little bit earlier. Now, I was looking at analytics for Instagram, and I said to myself, if people are watching past 6 seconds, that means I've engaged them past the 3 to 5 second hook. Let's say worst case scenario, right? My hooks are always less than 5 seconds. I make sure that that's true. So, and actually, I'm aiming for 3 all the time. So 6 seconds means that they got past the hook into the next moment. And one thing that we don't talk about is that next moment. What is it? I was scrolling through Instagram, not doom scrolling, researching. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw an ad for someone who wanted to sell viral content. They mentioned this little value nugget that I decided to investigate. And this value nugget was that you have to have an emotional grab. That's your hook. And then you have to have a curiosity gap, which is the thing that keeps them engaged, because there's a question in their head that you are slowly answering as you build your story, your script. So it got me thinking even more. Okay, let's assume that my hook is perfect. It's not, but let's assume that it is, because at least I'm getting engagement past the 3 seconds, right? We're using numbers to try and extrapolate data. So if my hook is perfect, then there's that next thing that needs to be perfect. So what do we need to work on to keep the momentum? What's missing? So I'll explain to you the conversation that I had with GPT, and then we'll start to upgrade my GPT for my scriptwriter. All right, here we go. So I said I had 35 minutes of watch time, but 6 seconds of views. So that means that like on average, there are 300 to 400 people watching my clip, for better or for worse. Past 6 seconds, a little bit less than 6 seconds. But that means on average, let's say 150 people said meh, and 150 people said, I'm interested, and then said meh, right? So here's what happens. ChatGPT says, okay, so we're trying to decode. Yes, we are. So let's assume that I'm nailing the hook and I know my avatar and I'm really speaking. What's really happening? ChatGPT says a 6 second average usually means that folks are bouncing quick, maybe scrolling, maybe not feeling hooked. Feeling, emotion, interest. So let's go backwards. Let's think about the other side of it. I'm learning how to do this. So I'm like, okay, what's good for a beginner? And what does this mean as far as like my first attempts, essentially? And it's like, okay, you're not worried about the high performance side. You're worried about what's the next 6 seconds going to do, right? Of course. And how does my script drive the visuals that keep the hook going? So let's say my hook is perfect. Let's say that the number says 6 seconds is on average that people are getting past your hook into the thing that is after the hook. I want to have a word for this, and I wonder if there is one. But anyway, what I mean is that, okay, hook, and then there's a thing that happens, a typical thing, a psychological, I need to do this here, that says, okay, successful hook means that you have to have a successful second step. What is that second step? Well, I've decided that that curiosity gap needs to be in there. So I asked ChatGPT. So here it said, okay, I see. So you divide that 81% non. Okay, yeah. The other idea is that I have 81% of people that are non-followers. This is actually a good sign on the Instagram algorithm. It means that you're getting past your own people and you're testing cold traffic being people that have never seen you before. Some people are starting to see you maybe again in the algorithm, and they're starting to pick up and follow you, right? How do we keep them engaged? How do we emotionally capture them because you're addressing their issues? Okay, so now about that second grab. This is where most people are losing steam. The first 3 seconds, look at me, but the next 3 to 7 need to say, this is for you. People are inherently self-serving. This is for better or for worse, and it's actually just how we're all wired. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if we don't know why I should care, then we don't care. And we move on and we continue scrolling. It happens to me all the time. I just accept it as a fact now. To be honest, on the entrepreneurial side, I don't even think it's about attention span. I think is this valuable? Is this not valuable? Scroll if not, continue watching if yes. That's the algorithm in my brain as to why I should care, why I should either continue scrolling vertically, which is other people's content, or continue my attention horizontally, which is staying on the same video. So in this range, people usually want either a setup like what no one's telling you about X, or a visual tone shift, or a tension moment. So maybe we want drama. Again, emotion. Tension is emotion. Tension is an unsettling feeling, an unanswered question, a plot twist that's coming that you know is coming, but you don't know how or where or when. That thing that's tension. So if you ever watch those videos where energy builds right after the hook, that's the zone you're trying to hit. It's like music. You don't want to start with a bang. You want to give them a drop, a beat, a lyrical turn, shifts. Okay, this is good. So variety is also an important factor in this as well. All right, cool. So I then said I gave it to a script, and this is a conversation we can continue to analyze, and I'm happy to show it to you, and you can do some screenshots, because the real idea is that I wanted to show it an example of my GPT creating a script, and I wanted to analyze what's going on. It likes it. I have the emotional setup, the psychological tension, actionable value. All of these things are important for me because I need to know I need to know that I'm offering value. This is good. So at least chat's seeing that. But there's something missing, right? So the idea here, I'll continue on. It breaks it down. Da, 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 da. Again, actually, I'll go slower so you can take the screenshots you need to. This is the gold prompt. If you are an advanced scriptwriter and you were looking at this formula, you'd analyze this and see that there are some things missing. What's missing? This is the juice. All right. This is what we're going to use to interpret the chat, and we will take our time analyzing this. All right. So here we go. We have immediate personalization and relatability. What's here is the opening. And, by the way, if you check back the earlier video, I've turned a script into a formula, and then I input into the formula my idea so that it outputs through the algorithm of the way I like to build scripts. And of course, that's the thing that's developing over time. So, immediate personalization and relatability. What's here is the opening is personal, but it's about you and your sister. What's missing? No instant bridge to the viewer. So what's missing is that bridge. The upgrade, even just one line, like maybe you heard it too, don't do it, it's risky, that brings the audience into the story right away. Awesome. So that actually tells me that the hook could even be stronger. And the stronger the hook, the more likely that people will continue throughout the video. That's true. So there is a relationship still that we're mastering. 2, explicit curiosity. One of the things that I realized in my video, there was a lot of value, but sometimes people aren't getting to the value because they're not curious about what the value is. So the question is it because it's not valuable, or is it because they're not curious? They're emotionally involved because they stayed on the hook, but now they have to be curious. So you grab an emotion and you turn that emotion and sort of wrap it around curiosity, and then you begin to answer the question throughout the video. I think that's the formula I'm starting to see. Stakes and consequence. What's here is existentialism. 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 Okay. What's here? Existentialism, risk, and ownership are touched on. What's missing? The real world. What happens if you don't act? The upgrade. You can wait on the sidelines, but the game's still being played, and you might wake up with new rules you never voted for. Man, that hits me. That hits me already. That's a great example. The aha moment is transformation. What's here? Insight about control and ownership. What's missing? That flash where the audience realizes how their life could be different. Most people never see who holds the keys until it's too late. But you're 5 minutes away from a new kind of freedom. Golden. I love this already. Actionable first step. What's here? 5 truths. All solid. They're big picture. But what's missing? What should the viewer do right now if they're interested? What's missing? What should the viewer do right now if they're interested? If you're curious, don't go all in. Start by reading one chapter. Download a wallet. DM me your question. Just start. Yeah, this is beautiful. An emotion close with you. Is it the me you or is it the you? I don't know. Let's see. What's here is a strong finish, but it's philosophical. What's missing? A final direct call or affirmation to the audience. You deserve more than comfort. You deserve control. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's pop out for a second. So here's the thing. Now that we've dissected a little bit of what some gaps could be, what do we do with this information? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the back end of my scriptwriter GPT, feed this into the conversation, and ask it to upgrade my system prompt. Let's go a little bit lower. It's a little smaller. So let's see, explore GPTs. I'm going to go to my GPTs here. I'll go to the back end of my scriptwriter. I'm going to show it how my formula works. Help me create an updated system prompt for this using all of the tips you gave me and keeping the formula the same. Let's see what happens. All right. Also, I want you to think about a series of questions that the GPT should ask me before it introduces the script. For example, a personal story or what the inspiration came from. You could be inventive with this. Maybe 3 to 5 questions is enough, but it should be thorough because I want to make sure that I always have a personal story or a story about a client that I can use as wisdom for my audience. So while ChatGPT is doing its work and doing its thing, I hope this is helping you because I want you to understand that there is no one and done. The work is not that you're going to let AI do the work. The work is that you're going to start thinking how to think. You're going to start knowing systems and being the operator and director of systems. I used to conduct a long time ago, and I'm essentially thinking of all of my GPTs like the clarinet section, like the it was concert band, like the trumpet section. Everyone has their sound, their thing, the thing that they do. The French horns, the ostinato on the fifth, the flutes having the melody for the most part. That beautiful saxophone solo for that all those things have different ways of being highlighted, and my job is to make sure everything comes into balance and you can hear every part while understanding the context of the whole. I love this. So let's assume it's perfect because I feel pretty confident about my prompting, to be honest. And we'll go over here and we're going to edit and update our GPT. And we'll check it out. And what I would like to, it looks like I don't need this one. Fantastic. I do want the example. I loved this script that I made about Bitcoin and how that relates to artists. So let's go find that. Okay, you know what? This is important. I want you to make sure that within the second 3 seconds or after the hook, that there is a very obvious curiosity gap. It needs to be emotionally connected, and I don't want to say shocking, but I want to say enlightening. I want to say it has to be big value. It has to continue the the shock from before, or it has to continue from the hook's idea and create a question in the person's brain. There always has to be an obvious question. Also, at the very end, we need to analyze how complex the subject is and break it down into whatever the one next step should be for that person. And that should be a question that you ask me in the GPT. Oftentimes, we have to revisit the ending to make sure that it's impactful. So, have a final question that will just ask me to follow up on that one, okay? The personal story is I realized that if I didn't nail my offer, then nothing can connect. My Instagram stories didn't make any sense. My reels can't connect to the audience. My my website landing page won't be clear because I don't know where to take people. I don't even know my next step because I don't know what I'm even offering them. I don't know the value for them. All these things are super important. So when I focus on Supreme Offers and Myron Golden, it's because it makes it so that we can focus our efforts and take all of the creative things that we do and wrap them into different tiers of offers so that your personal brand and your offer are in line. The bad advice is really just the idea that you're just an artist and all you need to do is be good at your art. No one knows what you do and no one knows why you instead of the other person. Because there's plenty, for example, for me, there's plenty of saxophone players in the world. But what are the skills that you combine or experiences that you combine to make you more unique and more favorable to your ideal avatar? Yeah, it is cut off. Okay. Your art isn't your offer. Maybe you felt it too. The more you post, the less clear things get. Your Instagram stories, your reels, your website, nothing really connects. They told you, just keep making art and people will find you. But here's the truth, if you can't name your value, no one else can either. The word offer comes from the Latin offero, to present, to bring before. If you don't know what you're bringing to the table, your audience know what to take away. That's not just confusion, that's missed opportunity, wasted energy, and your story is lost in the noise. Here's what the system doesn't tell you, being good isn't enough. The world is full of sax players, singers, designers, painters, but nobody buys good. They buy clarity. They buy the unique blend of skills and experiences that only you can stack if you show them how. Here's what artists need to know. Your offer is the spine of your business. Myron Golden teaches build a value ladder. Oh, this is spicy. Build a value ladder. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Myron Golden teaches build a value ladder. Tiers and paths, ways for people to step in and stay with you. Wrap your creative chaos into clear levels, entry, growth, transformation. Make your personal brand and offer one story. Start by asking yourself, what's the one result I help people get? And what's the next step up from there? Your gift is divine, but your structure needs to connect to humans. Build it right, and your art becomes unstoppable. You're not just an artist. If you design your destiny, build your supreme offer, the world needs you. Clear, focused, and unmissable. That's good.
All right, everybody, so there you have it. I hope this helps you understand how you can use your GPT and build your scripts. Now, two things. You can take my script and you can just go to town and you can use it as your baseline for your GPT. Or what's better is you could find your favorite influencers and look up how they speak, look up how they've engaged you, and bring that into your world, because that's what I did. I'm not taking scripts from anybody that I think is high converting. I'm taking people that I resonate with and saying, okay, something worked about that, it resonated with me, that means something about that's compatible. And I want to take their formula and my own original thought, because we are creatives after all, and I want to put that together. So I invite you to do the same. Drop a comment if you have any insights for this one, any questions, let me know. And if you made it this far, you're a real one, and welcome to the Blues People.